Hello and welcome to Money9 English's latest show, Companynama, where we try to serve you weekly updates from the corporate and startup world in one big platter. I'm Shrestha Tiwari. Let's look back at this week's major corporate world updates. The Competition Commission of India has approved the 12,325 crore rupees deal of Axis Bank's acquisition of Citibank's consumer businesses in India. The approval of Axis's takeover of Citi India's retail assets was announced via the Commission's Twitter handle on July 26th. With CCI's approval, the Axis Bank and Citi merger deal, which expected to be completed in September 2024, has now moved a step closer to reality. In March this year, private lender Axis Bank had said that it had agreed to acquire Citi India's retail assets for $1.6 billion. Following numerous flight safety incidents and a show cause notice, India's aviation regulator DGCA on 27 July ordered SpiceJet to operate only 50% of its flights that have been approved for the summer schedule. As SpiceJet has already been running on half of its approved capacity, this order may not have an impact on the airline operationally, except that SpiceJet planes are being subjected to stricter checks and surveillance. The cash-strapped airline will be allowed to scale up operations only after proving that it has sufficient technical support and financial resource to safely and efficiently undertake such enhanced capacity. Tata Steel has threatened to shut its UK operations unless the British government extends aid to the tune of £1.5 billion, which is approximately 14,400 crore rupees, within the next 1 year to help the steelmaker reduce its carbon emissions. Sources have said that as a part of its decarbonization effort, Tata Steel would close its 2 blast furnaces at the Port Talbot plant, stop primary steel making, and instead build 2 electric arc furnaces. However, Tata Steel's decarbonization plan will cost £3 billion, out of which it is seeking £1.5 billion aid from the British government. On July 25th, Tata Steel stock closed at a high with a gain of 3%. And TCS expects the $1 billion retail sector business in the UK, Europe to outpace the company's overall revenue growth on the back of a strong demand for IT services. The country's largest software exporter on 27 July announced a multi-year, multi-million-dollar deal with Marks & Spencer, with which it has been working for over a decade now to transform the British retailer's human resource operations. About 70% of the work on the M&S deal will be offshored to India, while the rest will take place locally in the US. And leading diagnostics chain Metropolis Healthcare Limited is reportedly looking to raise at least $500 million to finance acquisitions in the healthcare and diagnostics lab space. Not just this, instead of selling the business completely, the company has now planned to bring in a strategic partner. The partner will help the company expand in key markets and support the company with long-term growth capital. After the drop in the number of COVID tests, the company is now focused on cutting expenses and acquiring high-growth healthcare business to give itself a push-up. On July 27, the stock of Metropolis closed with a strength of about 1%. And in a step towards creating a European champion to rival the likes of Elon Musk's SpaceX, French satellite operator Eutelsat, and key shareholders of Bharti-backed OneWeb are all set to combine in an all-share deal valuing OneWeb at $3.4 billion. Post-closing of the deal, Bharti Group will be the single largest shareholder of Eutelsat. The transaction values OneWeb at over 27,000 crore rupees, according to a joint statement by the companies. And 3 listed Future Group firms will file their claims before the Interim Resolution Professional of Future Retail Limited, against which insolvency proceedings has been initiated by NCLT. The 3 firms include Future Consumer, Future Enterprises, and Future Supply Chain Solutions. In the previous episode, we had told you about NCLT ordering bankruptcy proceedings against debt-ridden Future Retail after approval of Bank of India's application to initiate insolvency proceedings. On July 25th, the stock of Future Retail Limited closed on a lower circuit of 5%. And SEBI on Wednesday imposed fines totaling rupees 8 lakh on 8 individuals for violating insider trading norms in the shares of Titan Company Limited. The transactions were carried out between April 2018 and March 2019 when they were designated employees of Titan Company. The regulator levied a fine of 1 lakh rupees each on the 8 individuals. The order came in after SEBI received a letter from Titan Company wherein the company intimated SEBI about the alleged violations of company's code of conduct and prohibition of insider trading by some of its designated persons and employees. On July 28, Titan's stock closed higher by more than 1%. Institutional investors rejected 2 resolutions of Orchid Pharma with 100% votes and 2 of multiplex operator PVR with 51.51% of the total votes cast, while a total of 59 resolutions were favored with 100% votes. A total of 4 motions based on the total votes, including that of promoters and other shareholders, were rejected. PVR's resolutions to approve one-time special incentives of 4 crore rupees to Joint Managing Director Sanjeev Kumar and 6 crore rupees to Chairperson and Managing Director Ajay Bijli for financial year 2022 were among some of the resolutions that were rejected. Reliance Brands has signed a long-term distribution agreement with Maison Valentino and will open its first boutique in Delhi, followed by a flagship store in Mumbai. The first store is set to be opened this year by the end of summer, and the Mumbai store will open in the following months. Darshan Mehta, the managing director of Reliance Brands, has said that this partnership will help make the brand more accessible to its Indian customers and build a new tribe of Valentino. In Delhi, Valentino will open a 162 square meter boutique in DLF Emporio. Roshni Nadar Malhotra, the chairperson of HCL Technologies, continues to be the richest woman in India with a wealth of 84,330 crore rupees, according to the Leading Wealthy Women 2021 report published by the Hurun India with Kotak Private Banking. The total wealth of Malhotra, who has topped the list for the second year in a row, rose by 54% in 2021. Meanwhile, Falguni Nair of Nykaa overtook Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw of Biocon to become the richest self-made woman in India with a wealth of 57,520 crore rupees. Alright, moving on from the corporate world, let's take a quick flashback from this week's startup updates. Upskilling EdTech platform Upgrad has acquired New Delhi-based online learning platform Harappa Education for 300 crore rupees. This is the 9th acquisition by Upgrad so far. Last week, Upgrad acquired Wools India, a Bengaluru-based recruitment and staffing platform. Earlier, it had bought Insoft, Work Better, Talent Edge, Knowledge Hut, Campus Recruit and Global Study Partners. Founded in 2015, Upgrad offers upskilling courses in undergraduate, campus and job-linked programs and for studying abroad to college learners and working professionals from the age group of 18 to 50 years. Over 50% of the recognized Indian startups belong to non-metropolitan cities, Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry Som Prakash informed the Parliament on 27 July. More than 3,300 recognized startups are working in climate action sectors, providing solutions through renewable energy and green technology. More than 4,500 startups have been recognized in sectors relating to emerging technologies such as Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence and analytics. And India registered a whopping rise of 15,400% in number of startups that rose from 471 in 2016 to 72,993 as on 30th June 2022. In a written reply to a question in Rajya Sabha, Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Som Prakash stated that under Startup India initiative, as on 30th June 2022, a total of 72,993 have been recognized by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. According to the statement, the government has established Fund of Funds for startups with a corpus of 10,000 crore rupees to meet the funding needs of startups. Well, that's all from us on Companynama today. See you again next week with new updates from corporate and startup world. Don't forget to download Money9 app from your Google Play Store or App Store right after this show. Until then, keep watching Money9.